Scared of heights, I don't want to do that. It's nice to be able to be. It's nice being taller than everyone else for a few minutes. I might say this, if that's all right.
Keep climbing, mate.
No. Yeah. Right, so I haven't really got a speech, but I do have a bunch of things that happened this week that I'd like to talk about, if that's okay with you guys.
This week is stupid! It's stupid.
Absolutely. Right.
Now, before you start, tell us, are you gay or straight?
No,
Do I get pressing points if I'm gay?
Yes. Pansexual.
I'm going to get away with a lot of stuff then. Right. Yeah. So the first one is from the Sunday Times. Parsons Green tube bomber told to study Quran during life sentence.
Because that'll help.
It gets better, right? So he's got 34 years in prison, and the judge told him to learn the true meaning of the Quran as a book of peace. Mr. Justice Haddon Cave said that Hassan, who was born in Iraq, claimed asylum in Britain, cynically exploited the full generosity and naivety of the system after harboring dark thoughts, right? So, I just can't go over this, right? He literally said, "You will have plenty of time to study the Quran in prison for years to come. You should understand that the Quran is a book of peace. Islam is a religion of peace."
Did the judge know that he probably couldn't read?
Judge is the ultimate
No, he's an intelligent guy. But the thing is, when did our judges become Islamic scholars? How does he know? Has he read the Quran? What does he know about
Around
Islam?
2005, apparently.
Is his name Muhammad?
But the reason is, it gets better. The Quran and Islam forbid anything extreme, including extremism in religion. Which maybe wants to go and tell ISIS this. Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Strap a rifle to him and make him charge.
Did the judge commit a hate crime by telling a Muslim how to interpret the Quran?
Well, it speaks to a larger point, though, doesn't it? I mean, how is it in any way his business? But you've got Lord Pearson in Parliament saying, look, we're going to have to start encouraging Muslim groups to issue fatwas against grooming gangs. It's like, okay, so we're going to have to actually start implementing Sharia for Muslim communities. So it's going to have to be a double-speed legal system, because otherwise, what choice do we have?
It's like using a bulldozer to open a fucking door.
Exactly. It
doesn't work.
It's unbelievable that this is something that we have to do, but this is where we find ourselves. You know, personally, I would like to see the outlawing of Sharia courts entirely. I think English common law is a universal system that should apply to everyone in the country without prejudice, without discrimination, without choice.
For everybody.
Secularism.
Absolutely.
MGTOW.
Nice to see you again, Rocker. And just to really nail home the judge's thoughts on Sharia law, which are obviously extensive, The Independent reported this week that Saudi women should be able to choose whether to cover their head in a black abaya or just a regular head covering.
Much progressive, progressive.
So forward thinking that.
So
it's like, how would you like to be covered up, ladies? You know, would you like an entire body cover or just something that covers everything but a little bit of your face?
They get really weird tan lines.
Yeah. But the thing is, this isn't even something that's happened. This is something that should happen. This is just, at least it's the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia saying, you know, I might want something a little more progressive, but don't go too far, mate.
One step at a time.
Yeah, you know, calm down. But, yeah, the laws are very clear and stipulated in the laws of Sharia that women wear decent, respectful clothing like men. Well, again, that's a bit subjective. It's like our hate speech laws. That could be anything that you interpret it to be. And
mini skirts are great.
well, yeah, don't show any skin, you bloody
Wearing too much is offensive.
Honestly, what? That's not modest, is it? How can I be expected to control myself if you wear a miniskirt? Honestly.
You're blaming the victim now!
I can see loads of flesh.
H&M do some great things.
Still not asking for it.
H&M do some brilliant things.
Can I just say, cardigans are a timeless classic.
What happened to nudity? That was the good days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get
Them clothes.
To be fair, if you're living in the desert, you probably don't want to be nude, especially with your complexion. So, it's very good, mate. Get that viral.
I love it.
naturally, which side do you think Jeremy Corbyn was on this argument?
The wrong side.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because that's where we're going. So the Times reported this week that Jeremy Corbyn's drive for tolerance has, unsurprisingly, given a platform to extremists. Calm down, I know you're shocked. Jeremy Corbyn with extremists, enemies of Britain, Islamists, terrorists, no. Fucking perish the thought. Yeah, right.
He's banned from Golders Green.
He's banned from where?
Golders Green.
Oh, good.
That's one place down.
So
Ban him from Islington
this
as well.
was a campaign against Islamophobia that was launched in Parliament by Jeremy Corbyn that gave a platform to supporters of jihad. That's really fucking tolerant, Jeremy. Good job. So the Islamophobia Awareness Month was celebrated in council buildings, universities and schools and featured extremist speakers. For example, a man called, they don't actually list his name, but a defender of Jihadi John, the famous English accented jihadi who was in the video cutting off a man's head in Syria.
He's just a poor soul.
Well, he didn't do nothing because he was apparently a beautiful young man. Didn't do fucking
Isn't
nothing.
homosexuality banned in the Quran?
Yes, of course it is.
How can you tell he's beautiful?
How the fuck does that work?
But he might be beautiful and gay. Who knows?
So do they both get thrown off a roof then?
Police. There's a hate
What are they going to accuse me of? Racism?
Wait, you're a racist. He's too
The
brown
memes
for
are
you.
too spicy. The memes are too
Fucking
spicy.
rules we've got, honestly. So,
You pay reparations to yourself.
Actually, yes.
So obviously this was done by a group called Muslim Engagement and Development, a lobbying organisation.
Engagement, that's oxymoron.
I can't say anything about it. You're black. I can't.
Sounds like a militia.
I'm too pale. I can't say that. But a lobbying organisation whose senior figures included a campaign who supported killing British soldiers and whose activists have made